Welcome to Football with Cheese. So in this video, we're going to go over the Packers' decision to release cornerback Jaire Alexander. I know the question you're all asking, why am I making just a video about Jaire when I can just do it in the Green Bay Packer offseason recap video? Great question. Two reasons. It'll make the video last longer than it should. The Steelers video was, I think, almost 17 minutes. We had to talk about Aaron Rodgers and Terry Bradshaw. And secondly, announcement time. Tomorrow night, Tuesday the 10th of June, I'm going to be on the Sports True podcast for, I believe, the fourth time. It starts at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. I will link it in the description. I'm not going to be on the first half hour or so. They're going to be talking NBA, which is not my area of expertise. After that, we're going to talk a little baseball, which I know a lot about, not as much about football, and football at the end. So we're going to do baseball first and then football at the end. So make sure you check that out. Really fun podcast. A lot of people watch on X, YouTube as well. So really looking forward to that. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so now and hit that bell for notifications so you never miss a video. So let's talk Jaire Alexander. If you do not know, he was a first-round pick in the 2018 draft. He was a corner out of Louisville, and he looked like a home run pick. Right away, he was a good player. By year 3, he's one of the best corners in the NFL. Then a few years ago, he went to make a tackle and hurt his shoulder and missed a lot of time. After that, he basically had no interest in tackling the ball carrier at all. Before that, he wasn't great at run support or tackling. And there were times where he's just dancing around out there just hoping somebody else tackles the guy. He just does not want to tackle. And that became an issue. He's had knee injuries. He's had, obviously, the shoulder. A bunch of things have popped up. He's missed a lot of time. And I think the biggest issue, especially with the fans, maybe with the team as well, was there were a lot of times where he was questionable and didn't play. If you did not know, questionable means 50-50 chance you play. And there are some players that are questionable and they're active almost every time. I think one time ever, Jaire Alexander was questionable and was active for that game. May have been twice, but in the last few years, I think it was only one time. He's not reliable. There was also the incident a couple years ago where in his hometown of Charlotte, he wasn't voted a team captain that week, but still got involved with the coin toss. Almost cost Green Bay the kickoff on one of the halves. You can look up. That's a long story. He was suspended for a game. It was just a mess. And ever since then, people have thought they were going to move on from Jaire. And the rumor was they were going to release him early in the offseason. But what Green Bay wanted to do, General Manager Brian Gutekunst, he wanted to trade him, wanted to get something for him, because there is talent there, and he's still a good cover man when he's healthy. Did not work out. There is a rumor online from Jordan Schultz. He's an NFL insider. I'm not sure where, but that's what he calls himself. That the Bills and Packers had trade talks this offseason centered around Jaire Alexander. The Bills, however, used a first-round pick on Maxwell Hairston, corner Kentucky. There was actually a rumor that Green Bay was going to take him at pick 23. He goes 30th to the Bills. Maybe they would have, but Matthew Golden was available, wide receiver Texas. Some people thought he'd go top 20. So maybe if Golden wasn't there, Packers would have taken Hairston. I don't know. The Packer history of drafting corners high has not gone well, really minus Jaire Alexander. In 2021, they used a first-round pick on Eric Stokes, corner from Georgia. Now, at the time, most people had a second-round grade on him. It was a big reach, and it was a total disaster. He got hurt a lot, and when he wasn't hurt, minus a decent rookie year, when he wasn't hurt, he was terrible. He's on the Raiders now. I don't know why they signed him. So it's possible the Packers don't want to spend a high pick on a corner. The position has been devalued. There are teams that will not draft a corner before round 3. If you don't play a lot of cover 2, cover 3, any kind of zone, then you prefer to use high picks on more premium positions. So cornerback is no longer a premium position according to a lot of teams that play those zone defenses. But Green Bay had opportunities to draft a corner that fits their scheme, that fits their requirements, their athletic requirements the last 2 years. I saw a report from an insider that said they were not going to draft a corner high in the 2024 draft. And it was probably day 3. They actually didn't draft a corner till the 7th round, Kalen King from Penn State. But I did not hear that rumor this year. So I expected them to go corner with one of their first 3 picks. And there were corners on the board, like I said, that fit their requirements. 2nd round, Trey Amos out of Ole Miss. We mentioned Maxwell Harrison, corner, Kentucky in the 1st round. Trey Amos from Ole Miss, he fits their requirements. Basically, Jeff Hafley's defense, he loves press man, and when he plays zone, it's cover 3. And so those are the kind of corners I'm looking at. You also need to be at least 5'10 and a half, at least 185 pounds, at least a 4.5 40, a 3-cone under 7. That's just who Green Bay drafts. So that's the type of corner they like. Also, Azariah Thomas was available at pick 73. They picked 54. So they could have had Amos and Azariah Thomas as well. Both those fit the requirements. I really like Azariah Thomas. He's such a good fit in Jeff Hafley's defense. He goes to the Jets. Trey Amos goes to Washington. Green Bay is typically one of the hardest teams on injuries. They will take a guy off the board or drop him down further than most people. So they're not going to be on the Packers. That's why players like Benjamin Morrison, Notre Dame, who went to Buccaneers, Will Johnson from Michigan went to the Cardinals. That's why Green Bay did not take those players. Savon Ravel could have been there at pick 54. He went to the Cowboys in the 3rd round. So injuries play a factor as well. It's not like they didn't have opportunities to take corners that fit their scheme, that fit their requirements, but they chose not to. So now you don't have a number 1 corner. You can argue they don't have a number 2 corner. So they're going to have to play a lot of zone, a lot of cover 3. I know Jeff Hafley wants to play press man. They do not have the personnel for it. They didn't have the personnel for it when Jaire was there because they didn't have a number 2 corner. To me, it's just a bunch of number 3 and 4 corners. They did sign Nate Hobbs in the offseason. He can play outside, can play inside. Probably going to play a lot of outside now that they released Jaire. I think he's a little better on the inside playing the slot. We'll see what happens. But this is tough for Green Bay. They don't have the strongest cornerback room. Maybe they'll be interested in trading for Jalen Ramsey. I doubt it. Green Bay's cap situation is very good now. They're $45 million under for this year. They're probably going to try to roll over as much of that as possible next year, or maybe use the money to extend some players. The most obvious is the right tackle, Zach Tom. They can use some of that money on this year's cap. Apparently, Green Bay offered Jaire, before they released him, a 1-year deal, restructure, where he could probably make it back with incentives, but reduce salary. And obviously, he did not agree to that. So that's why they released him. They couldn't find a trade partner. Typically, it's tough to find a trade partner after the draft because a lot of teams will address the position, like the Bills and Maxwell Harrison. Who knows? Maybe the Packers are interested in Jalen Ramsey. They have the cap room this year to trade for him. I don't know what Ramsey's thinking. The Dolphins seem to have moved on from him. He seemed to have moved on from the Dolphins. So maybe that's a possibility. I don't see another corner out there that's better than what Green Bay has. Ramsey would for sure be better. But Green Bay's defense is definitely not better, but I get it. Jaire Alexander is just not healthy. He's not reliable. When he is healthy, he's very good, at least at coverage. And you know what's going to happen. He's going to go to a rival, either the NFC or maybe Minnesota, because they love signing ex-Packers. And he's going to be healthy all year and play great. Probably. That's the way it works. Comment down below. What do you think about this? You think it was a smart move? If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Helps the channel so much. If you're a Packer fan, please subscribe. I'm a Packer fan as well. I cover all 32 teams, but we'll talk about the Packers probably more than most. Check these out if you have not, and I will see you in the next video.